Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the Shadow and Sun show. Today we will be doing crafts. Not crafts. We're going to be doing the stretch goals.
That's right, folks. Tonight we're going to go over the sci-fi stretch goals from the Dungeons and Lasers Kickstarter number 2, because number 3 is about to end any minute. And,
yes, any minute.
Well, it's got less than 24 hours, and
because 24 hours is totally any minute.
We are super stoked and excited to see what the last few hours have in store. Just for the record, our bet is that there's a rock or a phoenix in that big red and gold egg, but that's another story for another time. Let's get on with our take on the sci-fi stretch goals. We've assembled and painted most of them. There's a couple little stragglers that we just couldn't finish in time, but we'll get to that in just a moment. Which one do you want to show off first?
These chairs.
Good choice. Those chairs were actually 3 separate pieces to assemble.
But I actually think I know why, but continue. And
they were a little bit difficult. The bottom portion, you really have to look at the instructions to get them just right, or you will end up with something.
By the way, you didn't file off any mold lines.
Really?
Yep.
I thought I did. Well, I'll go back at
you
it.
didn't.
Okay, well, we'll try and get that and then respray them.
Oh, but by the way...
I really like the chairs. They're just really complicated to put together.
Yeah, by the way, just in case you don't know what a chair is something that you can sit in, kind of like what we're in right now.
Also, be very careful with...
they can break easily?
Well, not just that, but you want to use super glue and not model glue like we went over with the video last week.
Okay.
We also have Fred and our Martian here for scale, just so you get a good idea just how well they'll fit. These are both Reaper miniatures, and they sort of go in line with our retro sci-fi month.
No, we've used it.
Yeah,
we've used this in fantasy.
Well, yeah, but that's Bob. He's
You've mixed up the names within 10 seconds. Give me 20 seconds.
These are the plug-in lights for the sci-fi set. They kind of remind me of the old submarine lights, onboard submarines and things like that. They're really tiny, but as you may have seen in several of our videos, we use LED electronic lights in all our dungeon builds. Therefore, we probably won't be using these, and I'm highly open to a trade. If anybody wants to trade, I have all of these from all of our previous Kickstarters.
You don't need them.
And I've got 4 more sets from this Kickstarter.
But technically, we could still use some of them.
You're right. I just thought of that like almost the same time you did. But if somebody wants to make me an offer for something comparable, okay. Well,
we're still offering them.
Yeah.
Next. Gonna get this out of the way.
Okay.
The bear trap.
We finally got it. It was a leftover from Kickstarter 1. It was in all the pictures, but for some reason it just made it to our doorstep this month.
I mean, it wasn't in the first one, and they for some reason didn't have it in, and now it's here now.
And it's actually a neat little piece. And
it's a bear trap.
Yeah, we definitely need it. Definitely get a lot of use out of it. I'm not sure if it was meant to be a fantasy stretch goal piece, but we're lumping it in with the sci-fi pieces.
Because it's made of metal. Metal equals sci-fi.
This is, I'm guessing they're calling it a petrol pump. It's basically an old-timey gas fuel pump. It seems to me that there are a couple of pieces in this Kickstarter set that were highly influenced by the Fallout games. And I'm guessing this is just one of those situations where it was very influenced by the Fallout games. Next.
I have a table and a desk and a computer monitor thing.
This piece was a little bit challenging to put together. You got to be very careful. Again, I'd recommend super glue assembling this one, just so you don't get any melted bits. But I like it. It's a nice little piece. It'll get a lot of use on your game table, even in like a zombie game or a modern game, not just sci-fi. So
even fantasy.
Well, I doubt that, but definitely sci-fi pieces, modern pieces. Another Fallout-inspired piece, I'm certain, is this strange-looking TV.
Actually, I think I can see that. I don't know. I've never played this.
Yeah, just from what I've seen, we haven't really played any of the Fallout games. A buddy of mine recommends that I give them a try, but I just haven't had time for video games in about a year now. But I like it. I really like this piece. It's really, reminiscent of the 1960s style of televisions and things like that. Yeah, that too, I suppose. But I like it. Again, it's a fiddly little piece. Be very careful when putting it together. Again, super glue. Next.
This, which I assume is another one of those, with my limited knowledge, but...
Nice little sci-fi helmet.
I assume that's what it is. It is a bit big.
Yeah, it's definitely... I don't think it's to scale for this particular gentleman.
But it could just be for a bigger guy.
It could be an alien helmet, or just a trophy, or just a decoration, or just oversized so that you don't miss it on the table.
I have a few ideas for it, but it would require doing something for miniatures.
We're going to go with this one. I'm not really sure what this is. It's a nice little case of some sort.
It's a case. It is kind of a box. It's probably a box, actually.
But I really don't know what it is.
Makes it good.
But it's a nice little piece of scattered terrain. Maybe it's an objective. Maybe it's carrying something important inside it. It's one of the few pieces that we really couldn't identify.
Just a box.
Just a tip. Maybe if you guys named every little piece, then we'd maybe actually know what it was. So maybe for the next Kickstarter.
Which we heard has a bit more of a sci-fi. What even is nothing.
What do you got on top here?
This vending machine. Kind of also a box, but not exactly. But it's still cool.
As you can tell, I'm not done painting it, but I really like this piece.
It's a mimic, but not a mimic.
Yeah. I saw someone who actually went to the trouble to paint all the either cans or candies that were actually inside the machine, and I don't remember who you are, but you know who you are, and you did just a phenomenal job of painting. I don't think I'm going to do that.
Honestly, I haven't seen it yet.
Yeah, it was amazing. If I could do it, I would, but
you're not that good.
Yeah, I'm really not that good.
And we also don't have that much time.
Another fun little piece that will get a lot of use, although I kind of want to glue it down permanently somewhere, and I've got 3 more of these to put together and paint, but it just doesn't want to stand up. I suppose.
Assume that you put it in a corner.
Yeah, but if it had one peg hole in it, that would have been a lot really helpful. But maybe I could magnetize it, I suppose, but I'm not really sure. But it's a nice rendition of a pipe, and when it stands up, it would make something good to hide behind, for limited cover. But what you got?
Safe.
It's also not a mimic.
Yeah, and it's also a box.
We'll also be getting this in the Dungeons & Lasers Kickstarter 3. We're getting more of these. You can never have too many safes. You got thieves in the party, locksmith, that sort of thing. It's a great piece. I'm surprised other companies have never really made one that I know of, but I really like it. I'm glad we've got quite a few of them now. The barrels, or industrial drums. Well, I made them rusty and junky looking, but actually, they're fine.
They're ineffective barrels. Not effective. They're inferior barrels.
He likes the other one from the 3D printer that we got a long time ago.
And you tried to make a mold of it.
And
it was actually surprisingly good.
Yeah, I wasn't happy with it, but on to the next one.
The laser gate things.
One of my favorite pieces. Love this thing.
Kind of wish it was clear red plastic, but we understand why it wasn't.
Yeah, maybe
because it would need you would need to have enough things to warrant having an entire sprue of clear plastic.
Yeah, this one was. I'm really glad we got it. I'm glad we got 4 of them. We can make a nice area that's dedicated to holding your prisoners in your starship or the brig or whatever you want to call it.
And I already technically made prison cell, if you remember.
Right.
But I just used Lego lightsaber bars.
Right. Because we were anticipating getting this.
And also, I just wanted to have that.
These pieces of debris, really like
I think
them.
you should have rusted them because the whole thing should have been rusted, but that's what you painted, not...
We've got 6 more. You want to
I
take
am
a crack
very
at it?
aware of that.
I like them. You know, they're interesting little pieces of debris, to hide behind, or just to mess up your table with, making it look, beat up and rugged and, junky looking. But nice little piece. It was fun to put together. It was pretty simple, and definitely want to use the model glue on these because they can handle it. They can take it.
Okay, we have this thing, one of the few alien pieces.
I'm glad we got more of them. I can envision a hallway with several of them sticking out of the walls, and an alien version of a trap. You got to dodge and weave through the hallway to avoid getting stabbed or wrapped up or whatever those things do. But they don't look pleasant to be near, and I'm glad we got them.
Yes.
Pile of crystals.
They're pretty cool, but this is one of the few things that I think... I feel like they almost should have added a fully clear plastic sprue, because it could have helped for all the hologram stuff, the crystals, the laser bars, and that's it. But I feel like there's a bit more stuff that you could include in there.
It's a nice piece. I'm not done
But
painting
I still
it.
don't think it was enough to have them.
And I'm definitely going to have to do my research. I just wanted to give it a base coat for the video to get an idea of how to really, really make this, shine paint-wise, make it really
It's
look...
also neon.
Yeah, I used a neon paint just to start, but what do you got?
The bridge.
Love this piece. Glad I got multiples.
It's a bridge.
It's a great bridge. It's
and you can walk on it.
It's pretty sturdy. It's going to make building dungeons a lot more interesting. Out of space, sci-fi room sets. Make them more 3-dimensional, which I think is something they planned from the get-go. But again, definitely use the model glue on this. And if you're going to, like we did, use a spray chrome paint, you definitely want to hit it with a clear coat as soon as possible.
You could also do multiple coats of it if you can.
Yeah, just to keep that shine.
Multiple coats of the silvering.
Yeah.
And then a clear coat.
Yeah.
It's
because it's gonna get a lot of action. Basic broken wall. Nice little piece.
I don't really know how that's sci-fi, but...
Yeah, well, it's sci-fi or modern. You can tell by the construction techniques that they're trying to represent.
I'm not saying it's a... I'm not saying that it's a... fantasy.
No.
I'm just saying it's not a... I'm just saying it's not, it doesn't seem very sci-fi.
It can be modern. But either way, it'll make a nice bit of terrain to, hunker down behind. It would have been nicer if it was a little bit taller, but, what you got?
I have those.
The alien Coke bottles. I need to clip
Not
those.
alien, sci-fi.
Yeah, well, they're little rocket ships. They're tiny. Be very careful because you could easily mistake these and lose them. I have to keep them in a Ziploc bag just so that I don't.
He doesn't like them that much, but I kind of do.
No, I like them. It's just that they're so tiny. They're just. I really want to glue them to something else, a table, or maybe glue them down at the feet of the vending machine, just like someone drank their soda and drop.
Also, I think this might be one of those Fallout inspired things.
Yeah, I was just going to say.
I could be wrong.
I'm pretty certain.
Again, I have a very limited knowledge of that.
I think you're 100% correct there, bud. Simple, but very nice piece. I wish they would make more floor tile pieces to go over the floor tiles. I mentioned that before last year. But it's a great piece to let you know that you can go down below the level you're on. Just, it's a trap door, so to speak, for sci-fi. You know, that's where, you know, you have to watch out for the xenomorphs. Speaking of xenomorphs.
Yes, speaking of that, we have a gun.
Oh, I thought you were going to bring up the other one. Nice little turret.
I did.
I like it better than the first turret or mounted weapon that we got. It's a nice gun. You know, you can't have enough things like this. Definitely want to mount it to something in at least one instance, just because it's such a really cool piece. They did a great job on this one. Speaking of weapons of mass destruction,
Nuke.
we've got a little fat boy here. Definitely, I think it was also.
I think that was big.
I definitely think this was also Fallout possibly inspired. Maybe not.
It looks like it's just a generic nuke.
Right, but I really like it. You know.
What's so special about the generic nuke?
Well, you know, they're pretty special. You know.
Okay.
But it's a cool little piece. I like it. Definitely something to dress up your armory or your arsenal. It's a cool piece. Waiting on you, man.
I wonder which one I'm gonna do. I actually wasn't sure. Oh, yeah.
Look how painted side up. The other sides aren't painted, folks.
I didn't realize.
But they're great. You know, more doors. You can use them to replace. You can use them to replace doors. You know, that have been opened by the party, or maybe they were opened by a xenomorph. I'm guessing that's what they're trying to.
Thing.
Some monster.
I mean, this one has claws on it, but this one is just
partially open.
Yeah, probably because I don't know reasons.
I really like these doors.
I didn't see the claw marks. It just looks like shred. Look good. It just looks like damage.
I think some of these doors will actually get more use than some of the original doors from the core set. But all in all, great pieces. Can't wait to use them.
Yes.
That's I believe my turn.
Yes, it is. That's how
the bar sign. I think it's kind of humorous because I don't think it would be left standing in a post-apocalyptic game that it looks like it's from. It reminds me of so many signs I've seen in the past. Growing up as a kid, you know, my folks, they would go to bars and leave me in the car. No, I'm kidding. But we would pass signs that this reminds me of. Friday and Saturday nights, we'd see these lit up all over the place. It's one of my favorite pieces, and I realize it's not even going to get that much use for me because we don't play a lot of, you know, post-apocalyptic games. Although I am itching to play some Gamma World, but let's go on to the next one.
Portal, I think.
Yeah, we're not sure. I mean, it looks like a portal.
It looks like a portal.
It looks like a portal, but it could be something else. You could easily use it for a lot of different things. But I really like it. It's very kind of retro looking.
I wouldn't say that.
But
it actually doesn't look like that at all, at least to me.
But I think we'll get a lot of use out of this. It's definitely something you can use to dress up your boards. You know, as a scatter piece or an objective or something important. I think we'll get a lot of use out of this one. Just like I think we'll get a lot of use out of this Alpha Omega bomb from Planet of the Apes.
Oh, is that what that is?
Hey, that's what it reminded me of. As soon as I saw it, I'm just thinking, you know, Beneath the Planet of the Apes. If it's not inspired by that, I'm okay with it. But I like it just because of that fact that, you know, so many of these pieces bring back memories of old movies, and I'm glad, you know, they watched some of the same movies that I did growing up as a kid. It seems it's a nice little bomb. Let's just leave it at that. What do you want to show next?
Okay, my favorite thing that doesn't actually fit into this thing and shouldn't actually be here because it's not sci-fi. It's meant to go in the mindset.
Right, I think so.
Then why'd you put it here?
Just because it looks like it's got an electric light on it.
Maybe.
And, you know, I also left...
but it also doesn't look human.
It's definitely, you know,
What's
a giant miner, you know, with, like I said, with the, you know, the flashlight on his helmet. It's a cool little piece.
I still wouldn't consider it sci-fi. I'd consider it something that's supposed to go in the mindset.
But
It
was
still looks good.
It was an interesting choice that they put this in there, and I'm glad that they actually made it oversized instead of just, normal sized, because then it would be just too hard to find. You'd lose it, the first time you gamed, and you'd regret it. I like these pieces. They remind me of the purity seals from Games Workshop's Titan games, anything with a Titan, and even some Space Marine weapons and things like that. But my old Epic Titans, a lot of them had these on them. I was able to get some and put them on them. So they remind me of that, and I'm glad that I've got a lot of them because they would look really nice in the peg holes, not just in the sci-fi rooms, but even in a lot of the fantasy rooms. I could see these hanging in any peg holes that we don't use for lights. So thanks for putting these in and bringing back another fond memory. What you got?
Oh, by the way, I forgot. These are actually meant to go with that table thing from before.
Yeah, they're just typical sci-fi computer desks. This one actually reminds me of the robots from Silent Running for some reason. Those of you who've seen that movie might remember Huey, Dewey, and Louie. They just remind me of that. I know they're not robots, but they just have that sort of look to them. And there were interesting little pieces that you can't have enough of these. You could have 20 of these and build up a full
most of the things that we would
office
say
cubicle.
with that go there as well.
Yeah, but I could see you using up a ton of these in a
A single location.
Yeah, in a zombie apocalypse game where you're running through the office cubicles and zombies are chasing you around these things.
Yeah, I just forgot that those are meant to go with that when we were choosing who talked about what.
Right.
So, yeah, that's why it seems like I have so much more stuff than you do.
It's all right.
Because.
Take another one then. Catch up. Let me catch up. Or yeah. I'm gonna do the.
Yes, my favorite thing in this whole. Actually, I'm still not sure which one I like more. But my favorite thing, my second favorite thing, I decided, my second favorite thing in this whole thing is these dragons. I always wanted to paint them, but he decided to do it.
We've got plenty more, yeah. He was busy with other things. But
school mainly.
These dragon heads plug in, and they all appear to have some sort of weaponry mounted in them. They're going to look fantastic in the Temple of the Operators. I'm guessing this one's a flamethrower. They can all be flamethrowers, I don't know, but they're really neat little decorations to dress up. Not just the Temple of the Operator, but I could even see using these in the fantasy set. Some weird alchemist or wizard, mad wizard, put these together and is, defending and booby trapping his wizard's tower with them. One of my favorite pieces, not my favorite piece, but one of them, this robot.
Retro style robot?
I love this robot. He's got bits that remind me of the Cybermen, the Daleks, all rolled into one with these bars here.
It looks like a Dalek with a Cyberman head.
Yeah, I love this robot.
That's at least what I see.
I'm so glad we've got 4 of them. It's a great little robot. Good robot miniatures are actually kind of hard to find. There's a lot of robot miniatures out there.
There's one on this table there's one on this table that's quite rather good.
Yeah, you'll get to see that later.
In the showcase.
But on to the next one.
No. This box. No. You may think it's a box.
It's a Jack in the Box?
No. So this is crate. It's not much to say about it. Okay, on to the next one.
It's a nice little crate.
No.
It was a little tiny and a little difficult to get together. Again, super glue, not the modeling glue, but you can never have too many things like this. You could just find random cubes, but the sculptor who put this together really must have eyes of an eagle. That's yeah.
Wait, no, I'm not done talking about it. No, you may see this is an actual box, and because it's a box, that means it is the greatest stretch goal in this. No, it's not just the greatest stretch goal, and I'm barely exaggerating when I say this.
Because it could have anything in it.
No. No, we don't talk about that here. It's a box, which means it's a box, and I am quite a big fan of boxes. What was it? I was thinking. Oh yeah.
I don't know where you're going with that.
So this box, it's as he said before, sculpting, very good. Whoever sculpted this is very good at sculpting. However, this box was made good. I like it. And oh my god, the dodge.
It's not his turn.
It's not his turn. No, he's not here today.
Are you done? You done, Rattler?
But another thing I like about this box is, I mean, it's a much better crate/box. It's a much better box than the other boxes, and I mean, because the other boxes they were almost too simple. Well, that could be good. This box is, it's a box, and the boxes are good.
All right, my turn.
I can't think of anything else to say about the magnificent.
I really like
box.
this one. One of the reasons I saved it toward the end is one of my favorite pieces. It reminds me of the old Golden Earring news album cover. Maybe they were thinking the same thing. I kind of doubt it.
I don't see that. But yet again, I have not seen it.
It's a great piece. I tried to use neon to get it to,
again, as I said before, it should have been clear.
Maybe.
It didn't have to be clear, but I feel like they could have. They could have released the bars, the map, and the bars and all the holograms as clear.
Maybe they'll bring them back. The keyboard and all the detail on this piece are top notch. Again, eagle eyes. It's a great piece. Definitely be very careful with your pen washes when painting this thing, because it's got the tiniest detail I've ever seen. But phenomenal piece.
Okay,
You're
on
up
to
next.
I guess this. It's kind of cool, I guess.
Kind of cool. This is again.
Yeah, it's not as good as the It's a bit better than the other Baby Dragon.
Oh,
but
jeez! Don't even get me started on that one. That was my least favorite piece of all time in the history of pieces of everything.
Yeah, we don't mention that. We don't mention that in this household. But what we do mention,
and it's so much better than the illustration.
Yeah, but what we do mention is that because it's good.
It's great.
And speaking of how good it is, and it's not as good as the box or those bottles, because those bottles, and especially the box, pretty good. But I mean, nothing's perfect aside from that barrel and that box.
All right, another hologram piece, or similar to the hologram piece.
It is a hologram.
I love this piece. This piece is, when I saw it the first time, I knew this was going to be up there in my top favorites.
Really?
It's just a phenomenal piece. The way they put this together, just absolutely incredible. You know that the hologram is coming right up out of the table to give you a map of the planet. It's an epic piece in the history of peace. You're done.
Okay, radar dish.
Great little piece. You use it on every building you ever build, out in the field, in a battlefield.
Oh my God.
So useful. It's just
What is he doing?
It's trying to get your attention. You got anything else to say about this one before I?
No, it's just a radar dish. It's cool, but it's just a radar dish. Not the best, but not bad.
This is the piece I was talking about mounting to that Space Dino Stegosaurus. I still think I might, just without the legs, but just mount it onto his back. I think that would look really humorous. I really like this piece.
You on again?
It turned out great. You can't have enough of these pieces. You can make an entire forest of them. I wish we would have.
Because that's the definition of a forest.
If anybody wants to get rid of these because they hate them, let me know. I really like this piece a lot. It's one of my favorite pieces, and I hope you guys enjoyed this one too.
Oh my God! I was just about to get him to get off of that. No, he's not in the video. He's not in the video. No.
You got two pieces to catch up on?
No one saw what?
You gotta catch up. Come on.
No, I know. So I as soon as I saw him there, I knew he was gonna jump on. But luckily, he didn't get in the video, so he still has another chance.
Maybe for the show-off show.
Yeah. But he's a good dog.
What do you want to say about this piece?
It's pretty good.
It's your basic piece of machinery. You can definitely.
Nothing bad about it.
It's cool. It's I want to glue it to another piece of machinery to make that piece of machinery look even better. But you'll definitely get use out of it. You can hide behind it. A nice little piece of work. All around, they did a good job. My last piece, my favorite piece.
Green Man. Green Man is green. And because he's green, that means that he's greener than the other green people that are also greener than most greens. That's a pretty good green. Because it's greener than most other greens. And how did you throw that at me? You scared the dog.
This piece is epic. I know I said that before, but epic. This is my absolute favorite stretch goal of all time. Even including the Woodhaven pieces. Sorry, I'm more of a sci-fi guy than a fantasy guy, but
also Woodhaven's really good.
Right, but this piece is just genius in the construction, the presentation of it. It looks exactly like a certain emperor from a certain galaxy from a certain movie that we're all familiar with. A
certain set of two movies. It wasn't
right.
And this was well, actually, no.
And I was telling the little guy earlier, I'm glad we've got 4 of these. I want to make a room.
I know what I'm talking about. It's 5.
We've got 4 of these, and I want to make a room encounter where all 4 of them are present as some sort of evil, wild, wicked,
wild
council of elders or something. I'll get so much use out of this every chance I get to pop it in a game. I guarantee I'm gonna. And I believe these are your favorite pieces?
No, I already showed my favorite piece.
Okay, well then show the
but
pieces.
This is my third favorite piece.
Okay.
Well, technically second and third type. So you have a robot
statue.
Yeah, joke, words, names, whatever. You have a robot version of that one guy from the Star Wars games that are very good.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have this guy whose head is a triangle, but is also much smaller than...
All 3 of these are really gonna make the entire Temple of the Operator's room set come to life. Lining the walls with these particular statues is really gonna bring it. You got your techno wizard saints all over the place. I really had fun with these. They weren't too hard to put together. They were easy to paint, and they just they really send that message that these are some sort of important operators, if you will, from said temple.
Yes.
So there you have it, folks. That is our collection so far of the painted sci-fi stretch goals from Dungeons & Lasers Kickstarter 2. Can't wait to see the next sci-fi Kickstarter they come across with, but my wallet can use a little bit of a break. It's going to be a long year waiting for Woodhaven, and we're looking forward to it. Let's just say that.
But he's been also doing a bunch of Kickstarters.
Yes, so like I said, my wallet could use a break. But thank you guys so much for putting all these pieces, almost 200 pieces, in one set of stretch goals. Nobody's done anything like that as far as I know. And I know a thing or two about stretch goals and Kickstarters. So from all of us here at Shadow and Sun, thank you guys.
The 4 of us.
Thank you guys so much. Have a great and wonderful summer. Give yourselves a break because you guys deserve it. We will see you guys Thursday with a craft video. And until then...
No, I thought this was the craft video.
Oh my God.
So, Thursday we are going to go with our review that is totally happening. Buy a certain... If you find a cool looking flashlight that's kind of small, get that.
Yeah, you'll want a flashlight or a laser pointer.
Yeah, even though a very specific alien type looking flashlight is what you want, but you kind of need to show it to you if you want to know exactly what I want. So yeah, yeah, that's about it. Say goodnight.
Yes, sir. Good night, everybody. See you soon.
Buenas noches.